everyone, I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with uplifting stories across the country. What started with a cluttered driveway turned into a decades-long effort to make a positive impact. Ever since, a Maryland antique store owner has quietly changed the lives of his customers, and he is now preparing for a major milestone. Here's Sean Martinelli with the story.
I'm not a traditional antique store.
Not your traditional antique store. Those are the words every customer hears when they walk into this Frederick, Maryland shop.
No tchotchkes, no china, no junk.
What Paul Berkowitz has is stuff.
It's my taste.
A taste he says is not only good. Look at Paul's claim in the store's name.
And it's true. And I don't just say things lightly.
Great Stuff by Paul began with a ton of trunks.
So you want my whole history?
In the 70s, Paul collected so many, his home driveway couldn't fit his car. Paul's wife said the trunks had to go, and Paul started his store.
And thank God she supported me.
But the most remarkable part of this place is not in the trunks or in the wheels turned tables or the Himalayan glazed bowls.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
The most remarkable part is how the man who seems to have everything grew up with nothing.
I grew up in Brooklyn in a tenement, slept in the same bed with my brother. No antiques.
Just Paul, his brother, and two parents.
My mom and her family escaped Hitler. She's from Poland.
Despite witnessing the worst, Paul's mother asked Paul to see the best.
My mom had no, and God bless her, and my father had no animosity to anybody. She loved everybody.
80 years later, Paul's carried that love forward here. That's why every kid gets a gift.
And this is for you. I'm giving this to you. And it's for her to keep.
And every customer gets a memory.
I think it's the coolest store I've ever been in. And I'm not an antique person.
It's over 100 years old.
But after nearly a century of this work,
I'm going out of business.
Great Stuff is preparing for its great finale.
I'm saddened. I well up in a tear.
The story of Paul is written. What do you hope that story says about you, the legacy that you left behind?
That I was just a good, happy, loving person. That I got that from people because I gave it to people.
That's how the man who came from nothing,
yes, of course,
found his everything.
No tchotchkes, no china, no junk.
In Frederick, Maryland, Sean Martinelli.
A dedicated team of volunteers in Connecticut makes sure aviation history is honored. At the New England Air Museum, they are as hands-on as it gets to make sure that happens. Here's Jim Altman.
A slow reveal. That massive hangar door. It offers a window to the past.
We are aircraft restoration, the New England Air Museum Volunteer Restoration Team.
The site showcased some of the story.
This aircraft here is an E-1B Tracer.
The sounds add more texture.
It has everything to do with what this country was built on.
There's a lot of magic going on here, all done by volunteers here at the museum. We actually get the opportunity and the honor of restoring some old aircraft, bringing history alive.
The rivets aren't just making a connection. They're a bond to a bygone era.
So this is a piece of Vietnam history.
For the New England Air Museum's restoration team, these are major props and even more jet power. Bob Vizzola leads the group.
This is definitely American history. We have aircraft that flown on the civilian side, but the military aircraft flew in World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and still flying today. And we are currently finishing up on an E-1B Tracer, which is an air surveillance aircraft. And this was actually flown by the husband of Governor Jody Rell.
Now over 100 volunteers strong. The team isn't just built on preserving history. They're preserving the stories from the sky.
It's not just a picture on a page. It's a piece of hardware that sometimes they can touch, sometimes actually go into. So our mission is preserving history to provide education.
And across 50 acres dedicated to honoring aeronautical achievement. This decades-old pilot program endures.
They are restoring American history in this hangar. The talent and the passion.
I mean, you look at the aeronautical history in Connecticut, it's amazing. You look at America's air power, it's amazing. And a lot of that is shown right here.
In Windsor Locks, Connecticut, Jim Altman for Featured.
And if you ever find yourself in Connecticut, you have to stop by there. It is such a unique space, and you can learn so much and how it has roots here in Connecticut. All right, moving on to our next story here. If Meijer is a Michigan institution, the man we are introducing you to might just be its heart. Jose Anleo would tell you he's not doing anything special, but everyone who walks through the doors of the grocery store where he works would disagree. Here's Riley Mack.
Hello, how are you? Buenas noches.
If a smile can really open doors,
Hello, how are you? Hi.
it's no wonder Jose Anleo
Laura.
ended up here.
She's Laura. How are you today, guys? Hi, lady. Have a good night. Thank you. Que le vaya muy bien. Wonderful coming both. How are you? And I am a greeter from Meijer Alpine number 20, and I am so excited to come here and do my job. I got the car, sir. Thanks so much. Have a great night. See ya. The people say hi and bye with a big smile, and I do the same, you know.
And it brightens your day?
Yes, for sure.
Like most good things in life,
Have a good night. Thank you.
one day Jose just appeared.
You actually showed up here with your resume and said, hire me.
Yes, I come here, knock the door. How are you? Nice to see you. My name is Jose. I want to work here. I like the position of greeter, and I got it.
That's awesome.
Yes, I am so happy for that. Believe me.
The feeling was mutual
Oh, the customers rave about Jose.
for Kate Macmillan.
I'm the store director of the Alpine Meijer. I think the most common phrase I hear from our customer base is, I love Jose. When do we get to see Jose again? I can't wait to see Jose.
Always nice to see you.
One of the most positive, kind-hearted people you will ever meet.
Hi, how are you, ladies?
But long before he made a living out of saying hello,
Hello, how are you? Hi.
he had to say goodbye.
I born in Guatemala.
When did you move over to Michigan?
The hardest part of chasing the American dream
I moved in 2003.
was leaving his other dream
My 6 kids stay in Guatemala.
behind.
For 1 year, I was alone. And I talked to my kids, and believe me, it was incredible when I talked to my kids. My heart broken in pieces, more when I talked to I talked to the baby. When I talked to Luz de Maria, she told me, I need you, Pop.
He came here to find work and build a better life for his family, even if it meant missing them.
My kids do the same. Dad, I miss you. I need to see you. And well, one day was 28th of February of 2004, and I am so happy because all together again.
The man who once felt so far from home
Buenas noches.
now makes sure no one else does.
I make a lot of friends. Hey, here is the boy. How are you?
Does it feel like you're where you're supposed to be?
Yes, for sure. I love it, yes.
I think he's just one of a kind.
Hello, lady. How are you? Nice to see you. Good, thank you.
He just brings that brightness to the building.
Buenas noches. ¿Cómo está? Muy bien, gracias.
America once opened a door for Jose.
Hey, Nemia, how are you?
Now,
Bye. Have a good evening. Thank you.
he opens one back.
Hello, how are you? Hi. Hello. Hi, little missus. How are you tonight?
I love that story. Becoming familiar with workers at a grocery store is just one of the best things because you guys form a relationship and they're so excited to see you and help you. And it goes the other way as well. That was Riley Mack reporting from Michigan. Now, prom marks the end of one chapter and the start of a new one. Jobin Puneker introduces us to a high school senior who refused to step into that moment without the two women who helped get him there.
All right, the boys first. Gentlemen.
The senior prom is a lot more than just a dance.
There we go.
This is the last event you're going to be at with these people.
It is a choreography of decisions.
I think this is the 17th prom.
There is also 17 in the graduating senior class at Westwood. a small private school in Addison.
When the Russian war machine moves in,
12 girls,
we see this tactic.
5 boys.
Yeah, the girls run things. They sure do.
We know what this is made out of primarily?
It looks like steel.
Rian's decision of who to take to prom should be easy.
Taking the people I want to take this year is going to be a little bit more emotional.
And it starts with a promise his mom remembers he made many years ago.
He would tell them, I'll take you to prom. Don't worry about it, I'll take you to prom.
A promise made is a promise kept.
I'm taking my 2 grandmas to prom.
The 2 women he calls Ba and Ma, who raised his parents.
He's not only raised by me, he's been raised by a village. The days I couldn't watch him, they were there.
How a grandson returns the favor.
Sounds like it. That's Rian.
Both grandmas have never been to a prom before.
They got their hair done, they got their makeup done, they got their nails done. Felt like I had 2 daughters.
There is something both refreshing and bold about Rian's decision.
Great that somebody thinks that way.
If I get grief, I get grief, but I'm having fun with my grandmas.
The kinds of decisions that define who you are. In Dallas, I'm Jobin Puniker.
I love that. Still to come, a mom in California just gave birth to triplets from one of the rarest pregnancies in Madison. We will introduce you to mom, dad, and the 3 little bundles of joy. One mom in California just welcomed triplets from a pregnancy so rare, doctors say it happens in just 1 out of every 100,000 births. Ooh, Abby Black shares her story.
Okay, come here. 3 cries, 3 sets of feet. Okay, there you go. Shh. And 3 different colored bracelets to tell them apart.
So her color's like white and pink, her color's pink on pink, and then her color's brown and pink.
14-week-old triplets Everett, Hazel, and Sutton are what's known as spontaneous multiples. Twins and triplets don't run in either family, and no fertility drugs were involved.
I was just in shock.
I was like, I got a lot of work ahead, but it felt really special.
But the shock did not end there. When Michaela went in for her 12-week scan, even her doctor couldn't believe what he was seeing.
I've never seen it, Abby, and I've been in practice, very busy practice for over 25 years now. And this is so rare. I couldn't believe it until I went and scanned her myself. So we were all shocked.
There was only 1 placenta. Dr. Sean Donishmond is medical director of the maternal fetal medicine program at Scripps Clinic. He says this type of pregnancy, where naturally conceived triplets share 1 placenta, happens in just 1 out of every 100,000 births.
But it's just really 1 placenta now basically taking care of 3 babies instead of normally taking care of 1. So, that's why there's a high risk of growth restriction, for example. Babies not getting enough nutrients for you.
Michaela was scanned weekly, and at 20 weeks, 1 baby started falling off the growth curve. She was admitted to Scripps La Jolla at 28 weeks, and at 32 weeks, the girls arrived. Hazel weighed in at 3 pounds, Everett at 3.8, and Sutton at 3.9. All 3 spent about 14 weeks in the NICU at Scripps La Jolla, operated in partnership with Rady Children's Hospital.
She's just a trooper. She's incredible.
Now home and healthy, 20-year-old Michaela and her fiancé Blake Hertz are figuring out the rhythm of 3.
I feed 2 on a pillow, and then he feeds 1. I think they've taught me a lot about having patience. It's just a whole new world.
In East County, Abby Black.
Oh my goodness. Well, they are certainly blessed, and I can't wait to see an update in a few years. All right, moving on to our next story here. A nonprofit in Norfolk, Virginia is working to teach community members how to grow their own garden. Its work started by planting a community garden right outside of a local church. Here's Brittany Miller.
Leaders of a Norfolk nonprofit are getting their hands dirty to teach the community.
You give a man a fish, he eats for a day, right? If you teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime.
But their lesson isn't in fishing.
We're hoping to teach people to, grow their own food.
Erin Novotny is the executive director of Community Farmers, a nonprofit working to help Southern Virginians struggling with food insecurity.
There's a lot of food deserts in Norfolk, so that's like where there's not grocery stores near a certain area, so within a mile of a certain area. So we definitely need more access to healthy, nutritious food.
In a green space outside of Knox Presbyterian Church, the community farmers started creating that access with a community garden. Church officials say they plan to continue it.
We've got to let nature do her thing first and foremost. And we want people to come up and help themselves.
Tony Goodwin, the clerk of the session at Knox Presbyterian Church, says the community will be welcome anytime to grab what they need from the garden. Saturday morning, they planted tomatoes, eggplants, pea pods, even mint and basil.
I love being outside, and it's definitely a good way to connect with people in the area.
That connection is what the community farmers say it's all about. Along with learning worm composting and building healthy soil, they want participants to take home a sense of community, learning to share the fruits of their labor.
When you go to the grocery store, you're not gonna share that produce with other people. But when you grow and you have an abundance of your own produce, then you are more likely to share it with other people.
The whole reason that human beings even got to where we are today is because of collaboration, and that's why we believe in having people who help each other.
That was Brittany Miller reporting from Virginia. Coming up right after this break, an emotional story of a Texas family. Their baby born with a life-threatening diagnosis, how a history-making surgery and the family's faith are guiding them forward. Plus, an inspiring story of hope, healing, and a simple creation helping people get through mental health challenges. We'll introduce you to Comfort Cubs. Welcome back. One Texas family says what should have been one of the happiest days of their lives quickly turned into a medical nightmare. A mother fighting for her life and a newborn rushed into intensive care. Kevin Reese has their emotional story.
We will start with the photograph.
It was a very challenging day for me.
Of a tiny newborn hand.
You wouldn't believe it, man.
The boy, the Solano family from Louisville, had not yet given a name.
It was, it was very, very scary.
Because Michael Solano's son was rushed to neonatal intensive care, and his wife, Melissa,
laying on the operating table, dying. The only thing I could start doing was praying.
Prayers that apparently worked.
I don't remember being scared or worried.
Melissa made it, although when it came to her son,
I do remember thinking that this might be it.
There were doubts.
And for some reason I thought him and I were going to go together, but I felt at peace with that.
And at true peace now, because Max made it too.
Thank God that our prayers were answered.
But their miracle is not that simple. Max was born with a liver disease, gall gestational autoimmune liver disease. It is usually fatal. A transplant, his only hope. But it had never been done on someone so young and so small.
It's an unusual disease that someone gets, and then it's also unusual to have patients be stable enough that you can take care of them and transplant them.
But at Texas Children's in Houston, that's what they did on his 31st day of life, giving Max the liver of another 8-month-old child, whose family in their own time of crisis made that difficult choice.
Especially as a brand new mom, that's really, really hard to hear because you know that means tragedy on the other end. I couldn't pray for tragedy for someone else. So I just kept praying that God would save our baby.
The Solanos have written a letter to that family. They hope to meet them someday. Show them.
It's amazing to just see him smile.
The miracle, their gift made possible.
He's a very happy baby despite everything he's been through, and he's just such a blessing in our lives.
Now home and healthy.
This is his whole team. They all signed it.
Max has the liver pillow the medical team also gave him.
Italy, Spain.
A map where people worldwide prayed for his recovery.
And it kind of makes the world seem so much smaller.
And the story of how he got his name.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
His dad loves the Gladiator movie. And then there was the eye protection for that bilirubin therapy in the hospital.
And on the very front of that, really big, it said Max. And she's like,
it's a sign.
So this survivor with a doting grandmother, too, is Maximo Roman Solano.
A strong name for a strong boy. See, I'm a very strong boy.
Very strong.
The strongest boy you ever know.
So
A strong boy alive because of a donation from an equally strong donor family.
We thank God for the donor and their family every single day. Organ donation saves lives. Oh no.
Another laugh from Maximo is all the proof you need of that.
And we're just so thankful every day.
In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.
What a beautiful ending to that story. Coming up next on Featured, a community in Idaho showed up in force for one little boy recovering from leukemia. Hear his message of gratitude. Plus, one mom is watching her son walk the same path she started on 32 years ago. How he is continuing her legacy of compassion. Thank you for staying with us here on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you uplifting stories across the country. One moment, she's a high school senior looking forward to graduation, but the next, she is in a horrific car accident that left her fighting for her life. But now she's reuniting with the doctors and medical staff who helped save her life. Anayeli Ruiz has her story.
For 18-year-old Melanie Stortz, this ride is to see the people who kept her alive. It was May 19th of last year, just before graduation, when Melanie lost control of her car.
Ran into the ditch, and I hit the sewage drain, and then I flew up into the air, and then I somehow landed perfectly like I parked in a driveway.
Melanie would confront a long list of internal injuries.
A collapse of the lung. So she had a lot of bleeding and a lot of fluid in her lungs. Then she had a pelvic fracture.
But her fight to survive would be even harder. She also suffers from a rare form of muscular dystrophy.
When she first got here, she was so sick that we were not clear she was going to survive at all.
In fact, doctors say they brought Melanie back from the brink not once, but twice.
Seen a bright light the first time it happened.
Her doctors unwilling to give up.
Asked out loud, can she even survive this? We don't know. And we all agreed that we didn't know the answer to that question, but we were going to craft the best, safest plan we could come up with.
And through nearly 7 months of surgery, of life support and setbacks, they stayed by her side until Melanie finally made it home. She's back in the hospital halls, past the same rooms, not as a patient, but as a survivor.
Hey, look at you. Wow, you look fantastic.
Reunited with the doctors and nurses who refused to let her go.
Look at you. Oh, you look so pretty. I'm so proud of you.
The same people who once fought to save her life, now welcoming her back.
You look amazing.
No longer just her medical team.
They took me in with open arms. They became my friends.
But something more.
Cared for me like I was their little sister, and it was just amazing.
Sharing a bond in the hardest moments and returning to the place and moment her life began again.
Do you think that your life is a miracle?
For sure. Absolutely. 100%.
Anayeli Ruiz.
For one Georgia family, a mother's influence has come full circle inside the walls of a hospital. That mom who started her career pushing patients is now a chief nursing officer, and now her son is following that very same path, learning firsthand what it means to care for others. Here's Carmen Brown.
Some things a mother teaches her children, others they simply absorb without either of them even realizing it. Jill Hancock spent 32 years building a career in healthcare, rising to chief nursing officer at Atrium Health Navicent Peach. Her son Noah is just beginning his.
My mom is resilient. She's always been probably the strongest person I've ever met. She continuously does her best to make sure that people are pleased, whether it's her team at Peach or whether it's patients.
Noah is starting exactly where his mother once did, as a transporter, learning the weight of the work from the inside while also carrying a full course load as a nursing student. His mother, Jill, knows that beginning all too well.
I think that job perfectly prepared me to start my healthcare career. You learn logistics, you learn teamwork, you learn how to deal with people, you learn how to work with doctors.
Those lessons carried her from the hallway to the office. Now she watches her son find them for himself.
And I'm just grateful that you have a kind, compassionate heart and that you love people and that you can gravitate and they can have comfort in you and the way you treat them, and I'm very proud of you.
From her desk at Atrium Health Navicent Peach, she has spent a career pushing people toward their best. Noah has a few words for the first person who ever pushed him.
Thank you. Thank you for always pushing me to do better, even when I know I can be hard-headed and I don't really want to. Sometimes it can be out of spite, but you and Dad pushed me either way to become the best person that you know I can be, and I appreciate that.
That was Carmen Brown reporting from Georgia. Jill says, no matter the role, healthcare is about compassion, and now she gets to see her son carry on that idea. I bet she is just so proud of him, and I bet some of the other staff members are looking forward to welcoming her son to the same place where his mother laid the footsteps there for him. All right, moving on here, one woman in Connecticut is doing her part to help others by creating handmade bears for support. Brendan Mackey introduces us to Comfort Cups.
Every stitch has a purpose, and every bear has a story. In a basement in New Haven, this is where the magic of a simple but powerful idea has changed the lives of many. This is a Comfort Cub.
And this is a completed bear. I watched a video online of how to use a sewing machine, and I came here and I was badged on the machine, and I started out making pillows, which are really fun but really simple. And then I was like, I love animals. I love stuffed animals as well. So I decided maybe I could make some of those.
When everything feels overwhelming, some people reach out for something to hold on to. And after dealing with their own struggles, Catherine Fishberg decided she wanted to help others who are going through the same thing she is.
I like to talk about my own mental health struggle because I want people to not be ashamed or embarrassed. Everyone struggles with something, and there's no need to be embarrassed about mental health. And I think it's up to people with the mental health struggles to get the conversation going, and that's one of my missions.
For almost 2 years, she's made every single bear with love, and her customers see that the second they get their hands on one.
So I actually just had a baby, and this has provided me with so much relief. It really is a comfort to have a Comfort Cub. So I use it for heat. I also suffer with migraine, so putting it on your head is perfect. But it's really the person behind the bear that makes it so extraordinary. She's kind, she's patient, she takes her time when she does something, and mine is personalized, so I love bumblebees. She put little bumblebees on it for me, and I just love it.
And speaking of honey and bears, one of the most famous bears out there is Winnie the Pooh. And what did Christopher Robin tell him? You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think.
I have struggled with mental health for a very, very long time. Yeah. These bears help me, but they also help other people. It's the most wonderful feeling in the world. Knowing that I can help someone, even in a small way, is just my favorite thing.
That was Brendan Mackey reporting from Connecticut. Now, Brendan was nice enough to let us borrow one of the Comfort Bears, so here it is. And I can confirm they are pretty hefty, so I could see how this is comforting to people. The young lady in the story said, you know, she uses it when she has a migraine. Unfortunately, I also deal with those from time to time, so maybe, just maybe, Brendan will let me borrow it when I have a migraine here at work. Alrighty, thank you again for letting us borrow this. Moving on to our next story here. A 6-year-old boy has stolen the hearts of a community in Idaho. Levi is fighting leukemia, so his mom had to get a little bit creative when she was thinking of how to celebrate his birthday. She took her idea to TikTok, and of course, it blew up. Maggie O'Mara has the story.
Last summer, 5-year-old Levi Hillius got very sick. He was diagnosed with aggressive acute myeloid leukemia, AML, and he was flown to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis for treatment.
I'm building my tower.
In October, he received a bone marrow transplant. And after an incredibly difficult fight to feel well again,
Pack your bags, get out the door, it's time for you to leave the floor.
Levi is now home in Caldwell with his family and in partial remission. That means there's currently no detectable cancer in his blood. He was about to celebrate his 6th birthday, but his immune system is compromised. So his mom, Ashley, decided to take to TikTok with a very special plea.
I'm just a desperate mom trying to make her son's birthday really special. For the last year, my son Levi has fought for his life in a hospital at St. Jude. This is where I need your help. If you are interested and you happen to live in the area, Nampa, Caldwell, Boise, anywhere, if you're willing to drive by between 2 and 3 p.m. on April 25th, yeah, it's just a desperate plea from a mom who's trying to throw together a birthday party for her kid, and I just think that he deserves to feel so loved and so special.
That video, it went viral fast. The invitation to Levi's party was shared all over the Treasure Valley. And when that Saturday arrived,
we've had some biker clubs, we've had the paramedics, we've had garbage trucks.
Get well soon.
We've had fire department, police, we've had Tri-Delta College.
Happy birthday, Levi! What's up, Levi? Let's go!
We've had basketball teams, hockey teams, we have had Dutch Bros deliver coffees.
Ashley couldn't believe her eyes.
We've had so many people show up and they just keep coming. I don't even know who else is going to show up, but it is just incredible.
Thank you.
This is incredible. I'm pretty sure the whole town of Caldwell showed up for you, bud. This is Homedale Police. Look, we got other cities to show up for you, buddy.
Levi was overjoyed.
This is awesome.
How old are you turning?
6.
Happy birthday. All right.
Levi got his very own happy birthday lawn sign, and he received piles of gifts from strangers who are now friends.
It's been a really long journey, and he's fought so hard to be here today, and I just want to thank everybody who's shown up from the community to make him feel so special. This is incredible, and I can't even put into words how much this means to us, so thank you.
Days after the party, Ashley and Levi were still all smiles. The love from so many strangers really started to sink in.
I have always believed that our community is amazing, but the way that you guys showed up for Levi just absolutely blew us away. Thank you to every single person who showed up for him, who shared our post, who made this happen. This was you.
Levi has something to say too.
That was the best birthday ever. There was so much cool cards.
To everyone who made Levi's day so memorable.
It is truly our amazing community who gave Levi the best birthday ever. Thank you so very much.
That was Maggie O'Mara reporting from Idaho. I love that the community just showed up, did something as simple as showing up to make that little boy's day. Still ahead, a birthday wish fulfilled. After 9 months of video calls, a 3rd grader asked for just one birthday gift, her mom. Coming up, we'll show you the emotional surprise reunion. And he walked away from corporate America straight into his dream job. I'll tell you how he's found joy in a new start. A birthday wish, 9 months in the making, and a heartwarming reunion. For almost a year, a 3rd grader in Georgia has only been able to see her mom through a screen. while her mother served in South Korea. But when that little girl was asked what she wanted most for her birthday, her answer was simple: her mom. Madison Rick shows us the school surprise that brought this military family back together.
Say hi.
Hey, how are you?
Some conversations don't have to be in person because you can feel the love through the screen.
It's always hard to leave her. I hate it. That's like the worst part of being in the military, but it's also, I have to think about the sacrifices that I'm making for her.
And although it's become a routine for Raquel Harrison, she had only one wish for her birthday.
A family member to visit you. Who would you want to visit? Your mom?
That wish came true for Raquel when her mom, Kanisha Kendrick, surprised her at school. Kanisha and her daughter Raquel are used to talking through a screen. That's how they've communicated for the past 9 months. But now they don't have to because they're reunited. And now Raquel is in store for another surprise. Kendrick, an Army Staff Sergeant, has been stationed in South Korea, watching her daughter grow from a distance. But she says moments like this make it worth the sacrifice.
She's a saving grace for a lot of people, for myself. So I just be thinking about I'm doing all of this for her. And at the end, it's going to be worth it.
And Raquel says her special day just got even better now with her mom by her side.
I miss her so much because I haven't seen her in a pretty long time.
Now they're on the road for another secret, a trip to Disney. But don't tell Raquel yet. That's another surprise she won't see coming. Reporting in Warner Robins, Madison Rick.
Oh my goodness, I love that. And I hope we get an update on their Disney trip. That is incredible. Now, I know all about these types of reunions. If you're just tuning in, you don't know that my father was in the military. So I grew up with him being away from home pretty often as he was out on his military deployments. But I've always loved those couple of weeks in between those deployments when he was able to come home and spend some quality time with us. Now, if you're wondering just how many families will get to have that same emotional reunion, according to the Department of Defense, right now, more than 40,000 moms are active duty. Well, for 6 years, one Texas man put his dream job on hold, but after his career came to an end during the pandemic, he finally took that big leap. Here's Sean Giggy with more.
Every morning, 56-year-old James McKelvey walks toward his dream come true.
I always wanted to be a teacher. I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know when.
He set out on his journey toward teaching more than 30 years ago as a student at the University of Arkansas. James, pictured here in the pep band, was just one semester from graduation when he got an offer too good to pass up.
I left school to go be in the management program for Walmart.
For nearly 3 decades, James climbed the ladder of retail management.
It's not as easy as it looks.
Working his way up through corporate America.
I love working retail.
And he made a pretty good living doing it.
It was fun.
And then COVID came. His job was cut. James had to figure out what was next. And that's when that old dream came roaring back to life.
Good morning.
After finishing his degree, James started teaching history here at Cedar Hill High School. He walks to school every day.
Raise your hand if you know the answer.
Where now, instead of sweaters and sneakers, he sells students on the importance of education.
That is something you can use in your exam.
He makes a lot less money, but says it's far more rewarding.
I belong here at Cedar Hill High School. I love it here.
And they love him, too.
Perfect!
Just last week, Mr. McKelvey was named Teacher of the Year.
It is a great feeling to wake up and knowing that people see what you do each and every day. I'm definitely in my dream job.
Teaching students that a dream is never out of reach.
Very good.
For this former retail manager, that is an easy sell.
Let's go ahead and go into your next spot. Thank you.
In Cedar Hill, I'm Sean Giggy.
An artist in Texas is turning culture into canvas. He is using his work to celebrate his heritage and inspire the next generation of Asian American creatives. And now he's hoping to leave a lasting mark on his local art scene. Adrian Carball shows us how his passion is becoming a platform for representation and change.
And you don't have to feel
constrained by the stereotypes that culture has created around you. I think go out there and be what you want to be.
For Rajesh Solanki, art started with comic books and superheroes growing up in Texas after his parents immigrated from India. But while drawing became an escape, he says fitting in often meant hiding part of who he was.
For me, it was a lot of like, I need to assimilate to the culture here. I got to push aside my culture.
Now living in Waco, Solanki says reconnecting with his South Asian roots changed the stories he wanted to tell through his art.
I want kids to feel that they can also see themselves in artwork, see themselves in people that are in the community, and see that there's an avenue for them here as well, especially South Asian kids.
From murals to mentorship programs, Solanki is now using his work to help younger artists embrace their identity instead of hiding it. One of those projects included mentoring local students through a mural collaboration with Creative Waco and the Dr. Pepper Museum.
What kind of role model can I be that helps kids kind of skip past kind of like the stuff that I went through as a kid? Instead, I'm like, I want to tell stories that show like the beauty of our culture.
Beyond art, Solanki is also helping build community through the Asian Leaders Network in Waco, creating spaces where Asian Americans can connect and feel seen.
How can we bring together the Asian community here and offer them spaces and offer us spaces that we can connect, we can find community.
But above all, Solanki is looking to make a long-lasting impact on everyone in Waco.
I think I've really got a passion for small businesses here in town and nonprofits, starting to work together to be like, oh, how can we help local businesses make a greater impact on Waco? And yeah, I'm really excited about where that goes.
That was Adrienne Carball reporting from Texas. Now, your pet in a portrait. Oh, I love this. We'll introduce you to the California artist celebrating a major milestone. Stick around. A Southern California artist has turned a love for painting into a profession by creating more than 2,000 pet portraits. Jeff Zavali shows us the artist in action. Take a look.
If you like taking pictures of your pet, it may be time to take your love to the next level.
I paint from the photos. People send me photos and I paint what's in the photo.
Jill Williams found her calling late in life.
I love painting because I get up every morning. I can't wait to start painting.
Whatever you do, don't ask her how old she is.
No, no, no. You never ask a lady how old she is. No.
The only thing Jill counts is the staggering number of pet portraits she's painted.
Well, Jeff, well over 2,000.
13 years ago, she started painting every type of animal imaginable, not as a hobby, but to pay the bills.
No, nothing I do is a hobby. I like money.
She also likes when customers send her pictures of their favorite pets.
St. Bernard, Pomeranian. This is a Bengal cat. This is a pug, and I do lots of pugs. That's a lab. This is another retriever. Oh, the most unusual pet that I painted is a pet zebra.
Painting animals can be dangerous too. Oftentimes, customers bring their pets to Jill's studio, where she was once gored by a goat.
Well, I mean, it got all bloody, and she was horrified. And I'm saying, oh no, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it.
Jill finished that painting like a real pro.
Oh, okay, that works. Now that works. That's good.
Today's project, Jill's painting a rooster from this picture. It's a process that'll take her 3 to 5 days. Her favorite portrait of all time, this cat sticking his tongue out. And when she sent the portrait to its owner, Jill received this picture in return of the same cat sticking his tongue out to the portrait.
It's the most amazing thing you'll ever see.
Sounds like the cat didn't like the portrait.
Yeah, I said that to her.
Her strangest order came from a farmer in Alabama raising mini cows.
Which I thought, oh my God, I love this. This is great, you know, because cows are going to keep on giving birth.
Jill's favorite subject of all, her own pet, Fatty Cat, which she's painted over and over. This may not be a hobby, but something tells me Jill would paint animals like AJ, the kissing llama, for free.
I didn't really want to kiss him. I didn't know where his mouth had been.
in the Zevely Zone.
You know that song, Love the One You're With? Well, I love the painting I'm doing.
Jeff Zevely.
All right, that's it for this episode of Featured. Until next time, make it a good one.